Hey everybody, here we are again, right? I just want to wish everybody a good morning, afternoon, evening, whatever it is where you're at. It's about, it's 5 Central time to me, so it's late evening or late afternoon, early evening. And this is when I usually go live, other than a few other times. So anybody that's new, this is the time that you would kind of look for me. Of course, a lot of the new ones are in the replay. So I want to just say hi to the ones that are here so far. Hey, Clearwater Chat, it's really good to see you. I'm always excited when you're here. Mischief Managed, you know I love you, girl. Marilee, you know I love you too. Doug, good to see you. See, I was going live. You read some old news. Bodie's Beaches, good to see you. Let me see down here a little bit more. Constance June, good to see you. Julie O'Connell, good to see you. Goodness, everybody coming in here. Joel McCoyne, always good to see you too, even though you usually have to leave before I get done yammering. Jersey Jan, good to see you too. Sigh or say, I'm not sure how that goes, but I like it. Good to see you. Alan's always good to see you. Evie, Cricket Cinema, my goodness, you guys. Janet from Another Planet. Lots of people. I'm going to go ahead and kind of get started. I noticed whenever I was putting this all together that the stuff that I'm going to say, like before I actually get into the topic of the of the actual live, seems like it's going to take longer than my yeah, than my actual live does. But it's all important, right? The first thing I want to say is I want to express my absolute appreciation to whoever the kind soul was that sent me a little handheld camcorder, camera. It is, oh, guys, my allergies. Oh, I need to take Benadryl, but if I take Benadryl before my live, I'll sleep through it. So I have to wait till after the live to take my Benadryl, and it's actually during the live that I need it the most. So please beware. Just you know, just be easy on me. I don't know. Be gentle. Anyway, back to the camcorder. We got it today. I love it. I can't wait to learn how to use it, but there was nothing in it, on it, anything that told me where it came from. So I even went and looked to make sure I hadn't accidentally ordered it, because there is one in my wish list, another thing I'm going to talk about. And so I thought, well, maybe somehow I accidentally ordered it off of my wish list. But no, it's not there. I have not been charged for. I don't know what happened, but somebody evidently sent it to me, and I appreciate it. And if you will get with me and let me know who did it, I would love to send you a thank you card, or at least my absolute most sincere appreciation. I'm going to love using it. I am trying to plan a trip to Clearwater, maybe in the fall, because I don't want to go when it's really, really hot, which is probably when Mark would want to go. But I would love to try to go in the fall. And I'm going to get to spend some time with Farrell Cheryl, and maybe I'll get to meet Aaron. I don't know. I mean, for somebody that's paying me the big bucks to to do all this stuff, I've never met him or even spoke to him. So anyway, I don't know who all. Dusty, I can't wait. There's a bunch of y'all that I just cannot wait. Lori Plays, that whole crew. They're my, like, I love them. And if I can go and meet even some of them, that would be like a huge highlight. And I would, of course, use that camcorder then and other times. But this gives me some time to really play with it and get used to it. Gosh, another thing I'm still trying to get used to is I'm trying to work on my office, y'all, because I'm telling you, I want to sit in that chair that I've got. But I'm warning you, I may end up doing some Nora lives, not the content, but 3, 4, 5, 8 hours, because it's so comfortable. It doesn't hurt for me to sit in it. probably not going to do that, but you never know. I might do some longer ones. I do have some that would, take longer than my allotted hour. Mischief. So anyway, there is that. I'm trying to think. I just really, I'm just like completely speechless over this camcorder. So I just really, really, really want whoever did it to know that it is incredibly appreciated, just incredibly appreciated. So it did get me almost in a little trouble when Mark comes in and goes, "Did you order a camcorder?" And I'm like, "No, I didn't." Because I'm really trying to not spend a lot of money. I mean, Christmas was rough, right? So anyway, there's that. I'm going to go ahead and get started. I don't think I see anybody else that has come in right now. I don't think. If so, I will try to get to you. I really, really try not to miss anybody. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. There still is a couple things that I need to cover before we actually start with the content of this actual live. But welcome, all of you, to yeah. Yeah, I'll have to pass that extended hours past the boss. That's true. She like, oh, I'm telling you, she gets on me. But then the other day I went over by like 45 minutes and she was getting on to me and getting on to me. And I'm just like going, yeah. And finally she says, but it looked like you was having a good time. I was once I got to my chat and got to talk to you all. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think she'd let me get away with it, Marilyn. I might have to do a lot of 2 parts or do one, go away for an hour and come back. Oh, anyway, let's get on with this, okay? I do wanna welcome everybody, to first, Coffee Susie Overholtz. If you're new, you can put that in your little deal and hit the little like and subscribe so that it will maybe tell you, maybe, Terry, hey, good to see you. Whenever I'm gonna go live. Most of the time it is at 5 o'clock Central. So that's a good time to look and check if you don't get a notification because we know how YouTube is. So, anyway, I'm always so appreciative for any of you that show up in the live and also any of you that show up in the replay, as I say every time, but I say it because I mean it. So, today's live, y'all, is going to kind of be in recognition of the fact that stress is something that affects us all and in different ways. And stress can come from all directions and sometimes all at once. It can even literally kill you. It can cause you to have heart attacks and stuff, strokes and heart attacks and high blood pressure and all these things. And so we just really have to try to figure out ways to get a hold of our stress. And even here on YouTube, stress comes at the creators, but it also comes at the viewers. And that's really sad because supposedly we're all here kind of for entertainment and to learn something. And it's just sad to me whenever people take away from that by just causing a lot of stress. So, topics that we talk about on YouTube. Eileen, I don't know if I said hi to you. So, if not, hi. But topics can be triggers for us. And, that's sad. And there's no way to avoid topics that are going to trigger somebody because I mean almost anything can do that for somebody. And so it's really hard as creators to come up with something or to come up with ways of saying some things and presenting it that maybe it's less triggering. Sometimes the topics are every bit as stressful to us as they are to the people that are going to be watching it, but sometimes we have to do them. Sometimes it just needs to be said. Plus, we, like you, have our real lives and all the, stress that those entail. And boy, I tell you, it really it can really get to be a lot sometimes, can't it? I know it absolutely can. And even for you that are viewers, you've lately, a lot of you've gotten drug into the mud just like the content creators have, and that's really sad because it's just ridiculous. We are all adults, and I am trying to remind myself too that, you know what? Sometimes, yes, things need to be said, but not everything needs to be said. So, there's a time and a place, I guess. And that's what we have to figure out is what is the right time and what is the right place and what is the right topic. Is it worth the stress that it might cause somebody? I try on Sundays when I do a live to stick with kind of a fun day Sunday theme. And though this one, oh, Doug, stress caused me a heart attack. I believe it. I believe it. This topic might not be necessarily fun, but we're not talking about the horrors of Scientology or other cults. And we're not like having to defend ourselves or our friends. We are honestly just going to talk about a topic that really does affect us all, and that is stress. I don't know anybody that doesn't suffer from some form of stress at some time. So today, I want to talk about drama and stress, but I really do hope that it's a drama and stress-free discussion about drama and stress, if that makes any sense at all. Another thing I wanted to, hit on is that I am sure that I will get comments, especially in the replay, because that's where they like to put them most. They don't stand as big a chance of getting any flack in the replay as they do. It's usually just me that replies to them. But I'm sure I'll get some comments that I'm doing the same content as other creators with this one. Yeah. And you're right. On some level, I am. Today, a person that I'm kind of doing the same content as would be Marilyn, but we're going about it in different ways. And the thing is that I don't think that she'll think that I'm copying her content. I'm talking about people that actually admit that they very rarely, if ever, watch my content, but then they jump in on one thing and make a comment about, well, you're doing the same thing as someone else. So I say to them, and I'm going to say it here too, if you watch any kind of news program or you read a newspaper, it's not a foreign concept that people cover the same news or the same topics or whatever the case may be. That's just kind of going to happen. And when you're in a space like the anti-Scientology, anti-cult community, there's going to be some rollover from this one to that one. We're going to talk about some of the same things. And when stress is hitting us from all sides, we're going to talk about stress because that's just life. And I am not copying Marilyn. I wrote up my stuff 2 days ago and got up this morning and watched her live and was like, well, shit. Here we go. I'm going to get blamed that I'm copying Marilyn. And I'm not. She did an amazing live and she does things her way. I would not for anything on earth try to copy her. I mean, it would be ridiculous. It would just be ridiculous. I really don't see very much like copying each other's content going on in this community. And the thing is that, yeah, sometimes we talk about the same things, but we're all in one giant community. Like we're all free agents kind of a thing, but there's just no way around that when you're talking about a very limited topic that you're going to step on each other sometimes. So keep it to yourself, haters. I don't want to hear about it. I'm not copying anybody and they're not copying me. That's for sure. So anyway, no, I already covered all that. See, I didn't actually read all of it. I'm getting better and not having to read everything as my brain fog kind of clears up sometimes. I chalked this one up with Marilyn and I both going on a thing today about stress is that we're both feeling stressed. And we know that our audiences are feeling stressed. And so, that's why. It doesn't have anything to do with copying each other's content. Plus, it's kind of cool that, we don't have exactly the same viewers. She's got way more than me. And so something that she says might resonate with someone, and something that I say might resonate with someone else. And so, you know, we don't use the same sources. It's just, it is what it is. So, anyway, I'm sure that some of you know this week has been rough. Last Sunday, Barb STV Tattoo Warriors, um, she did the first of two interviews on cultology that well, they really ripped open a wound, um, probably for the best. But I'm just saying it really did open up a wound for a lot of us, and a lot of us have been quietly nursing that wound for months. Others more than me. I just knew about it. But others more than me. But anyway, that is the fact. Y'all, to say that the shit hit the fan is a gross understatement of the facts. And I'm not here to rehash that. I don't want to talk about it. I mention it as a segue of sorts as to why today's topic is important today, and why I didn't just toss my notes and everything aside for another day once I saw that Marilyn talked about stress and drama and all that stuff too, because I think it's important. And I think that what she had to say is important. And I think that some of the things I'm going to have to say are important too. Yeah, the shit hit the bucket. Very funny. Shit's in a bucket. If I need this moment to step away and say, yes, the stress is thick, then I'm sure a lot of you do. And so that's why I want to do that. I had been researching the topic and I wrote it up, and then now it's like, okay, this is the absolute perfect time to do this. So, y'all, according to Sutter Health, there are two types of stress: emotional and physical. There are lots of subdivisions of that in both of those types, but those are the two main, types of stress. Emotional stress includes things like relationships, pressure at work or school, financial worries, expressing or experiencing, discrimination, life changes, which can be, births or deaths or marriages or divorces, all those things, turning 50, getting old, but also cults and other high demand, high control groups or situations. All of that can cause mental or emotional stress. Physical stress examples, and I'm only giving examples. There's tons of other things that can cause emotional or physical stress. But as an example, being sick, yeah. When you're having health problems, that is stressful. If you're in pain, that is stressful. And both of those are emotionally stressful as well as physically stressful. Yeah, turning 50 was okay. I was actually thrilled at 50. I don't know. I thought, whoa, look at me. I'm an adult. 70 was bad though. I don't know. I'm kind of like thinking 60 seems a little like it might be rough for me in a couple years, but by the time I'm 70, I'm hoping that I'm back to being, look at me, I'm an adult. So, recovering from an injury, having a drug or alcohol dependency. You can even stress your body with extreme activities or exercise. I mean, it's kind of like, of course, those are good for you, but some people go way over the top. And cults and high control groups or situations can also be stressing on your body. So, for one thing, they can make you so sick You just from the stress that then being sick makes you even more stressed. It's a circle, y'all. It is absolutely a circle. I personally, I can't afford anybody actually managing to live a stress-free life, but how would that be? Like, I even thought, well, babies, but even babies, they stress out if they've got a crappy diaper or if they're hungry or where's my mommy? Those kind of things are stressful to them. So from the time we're born to the time we die, I think that stress is just an inherent fact of life. And so we really, really have to learn how to manage it. And I want to lead with this. Most of the time, our minds and bodies are equipped to handle stress. But there are times that it is absolutely necessary to seek medical advice or therapy. And there is no shame in that. Seeking medication or therapy or both. We need to stop letting it be a stigma that that's somehow being weak, because it's not. Getting help when you need it, I don't care if it's because you have cancer or you have bronchitis or you have mental illness or you have depression or you have high stress levels. I don't care what it is. If you go and get help for that, that's being strong. That's showing that you're strong enough to know that you can't fix everything, that sometimes we all need help. Prolonged periods of poor sleep, severe headaches, especially if they happen often or especially daily, unexplained weight loss or gain, constant anger, or even just irritability, just being kind of like, ugh. Loss of interest in activities, constant worry or obsessive thinking. Hey, Eric, good to see you. Excessive drug or alcohol use, the inability to concentrate. Do any of those sound familiar? Because y'all, with the exception of the drug or alcohol use, it sounds like a day in my life. It truly does. And so I went back on my anxiety meds, especially because this week I have had multiple um, anxiety attacks, culminating with one yesterday that lasted a good 30 minutes, and I just wasn't sure I was going to come out of it. I really thought I might have to go to the emergency room and tell them, you're going to have to fix this, because and even my anxiety medicine was not really working for a long time. So I had to implement some of the things that I'm going to talk to you about today on top of the anxiety medicine. So, but I did message my primary care physician and I told her, hey, Marilyn, I told her that, hey, expect to see that I'm going to need a refill on those anxiety meds, because I'm going to start using them a little more frequently. The ones that I use, I don't have to take on a structured basis. I can just take them whenever I need it. But right now, I need it. So anyway, with all this that I'm going through and some of my friends are going through, I got to thinking and I thought, I bet everybody's going through it for one reason or another, maybe not for the same reasons we are, but for another, one reason or another. And I found a list of 10 things that doctors think that help. Nothing is just going to make you not ever be stressed. But these 10 things that I'm going to quickly go through, doctors real and therapists really believe that they can have an impact on your stress levels, and they're easy. None of it's hard. Number 1, rebalancing work and home life. Are you spending too much time at work? Now, obviously, very few, if any of us, can just go, well, I just won't stay at work so much. I'll just, cut back my hours. For most of us, that's not possible. But what we can do is if we can do that, then yes, do that. Mark did that recently. He cut his hours back, and it has really helped him to not be so stressed out or tired. And he's just in a better mood. Hope he didn't hear that. But anyway, what we can do is focus on doing things during our off time that we enjoy. And that can be anything. I don't know what you enjoy doing, but the main thing is don't, Elaine, are you Jay? Elaine, if you want to go read my community post that I posted on my channel today, that deals with exactly that. So, I think it's disgusting, and I know it's not the truth. So, if you want to go read that, I'm not going to go into it today, not on here, but I did go into it today on my community post. So, thank you. And thank you for giving me an opportunity to say what I think. I appreciate that. I really do. And I hope that you join us again. Stay today and come back tomorrow and, whatever. So, don't just sleep those free hours away, y'all. Of course we need to sleep, but schedule some time that's not work or sleep and do some little something that you enjoy and that is completely not work related. Hey Kim, good to see you too. Number 2, get regular exercise. Basically move that body, y'all. It balances our nervous system, it increases our blood circulation, which actually flushes out stress hormones, getting that blood circulation up, which that's a good thing, right? Now, let's be honest. That doesn't mean that you got to spend hours at the gym. I don't I don't enjoy that. I probably need to do it. I mean, I'd probably be healthier if I would spend some more time working out, and I'd probably be thinner, but I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to spend hours at the gym. But there are other things that you can. Maybe just a 20-minute walk. Maybe just walking in place for 5 minutes in your living room or your bedroom or wherever, in your bathroom. Walk in place while you're brushing your teeth. Move that body. Just move your body. Do a private dance party. I am constantly putting on some music pretty loud. I like it loud. And I will just dance and dance and dance. Sometimes it's only one song, sometimes it's 3 or 4 songs, whatever, but I will just dance, and I mean, like, nobody's watching. It is probably, if my husband ever records me or gets a nanny cam and secretly records me, I might have to, unalive his ass, because I'm sure it's embarrassing if I actually saw how I looked, but I don't care. It's my little time of getting my heart rate up, moving my body, and it makes me feel better. It helps with my stress. I mean, like Taylor Swift said, shake it off, right? That might not be what does it for you. You got to do you. You got to find what you can do to move your body, and with whatever ability to move your body you have. Because, I mean, some of us are I'm not yet, but probably headed that way. But a lot of people here are in wheelchairs or using walkers, which I will be doing very quickly. I'm about to order it soon. I keep putting it off just because, you know, it's hard to admit that you need something like that whenever you've always thought of it as being for somebody that's getting older. And then when somebody says you're old, ugh, so, none of that. But we need to figure out what our physical limitations are. But all of us can move something. I don't care if you are just bobbing that head around, sitting in your chair, just, moving around, move something, tap your foot, do something. Number 3, eat well and limit alcohol. Alcohol, nicotine, and caffeine may seem like that they are a quick fix to stress. And I am guilty of using especially caffeine and alcohol, or caffeine and what was the other one? Alcohol on occasion. I don't use nicotine. I have whenever I was going through my divorce. I oh, there was a couple days there that I just jerked that pack of cigarettes right out of my friend's hand and smoked some. And it did it help? I don't know. I was still stressed. But I know that those do seem like, kind of easy, quick fixes. But in the long term, they're bad for us. And so they do, they end up hurting our body, which ends up potentially making us sick, which ends up giving us more anxiety. So, or plus just the money that we spend on that kind of stuff can cause anxiety. But a balanced diet can also reduce stress. Avoid processed foods and sugar. Y'all, try an herbal tea. I recommend Negra peppermint tea. And no, I'm not sponsored, but I could be. It is my absolute go-to, y'all. I am completely addicted. I always cannot wait till I get off my live so I can sit down and have a cup. And then lots of other times I might drink 2 or 3 cups of it a day. And then other days I might have none, but that is rare. That is absolutely rare. Drink more water. Water also flushes those stress hormones out of our bodies, which is never going to be a bad thing, ever. Number 4, connect with supportive people. Here we are. We're right here with a whole bunch of you. There's 37 of you in here right now. And I kind of feel like probably all 37 of you are supportive. This isn't really a live that a lot of trolls are going to, gravitate towards. So here we are. There's 37 plus me, 38 people right here supporting each other. Isn't that amazing? But also avoid Debbie Downer types. Just, we all have those in our lives, right? And I'm not saying that you can't ever be around them, because a lot of times it's people we love. But just kind of avoid that, especially if you're already stressed. Talk to people face to face. Don't just be in a parasocial relationship with all of us, however many people are in here at any given time. Today it's 37 plus me. Sometimes it's 200 plus me, 500 plus me. Sometimes it's 12 plus me. Let's also not remember. Oh, you see 40? Okay, good. Let's also not forget the importance of actually speaking face to face with people. Don't just text. Pick up the phone every once in a while and call. This is my downfall, y'all. I absolutely hate to talk on the phone. I don't know why. I think that I associate it with my mom, because I used to talk to her an hour, 2 hours a day, every day on the phone. Plus, we lived 1,000 feet from each other for the last several years, and I could easily walk up there and see her face to face, but we still talked on the phone. And so, to me, whenever I pick up the phone and go to call somebody, I almost always dial my mom, and I can't now. So, but pick up that phone and call somebody every once in a while. On the phone, we can hear tones. We can hear actual laughter, not just ha-has or LOLs or whatever. We can hear actual laughter, and we can hear those tones of their voice. Hef says Alan's the only one that she talks to on the phone. The best better text me. Well, I'm going to text you, and then I'm going to say, you're getting ready to get a phone call. You better answer. So, anyway, talk to people that are good listeners, but also be a good listener. Don't just listen to answer. Listen to hear what they have to say. But it also makes you realize, even if you're listening to them about their stresses or what's bothering them, it can help you to realize that you're not the only person stressed out, that this is, we're all in this big old world together, and that, it kind of makes you not feel so alone. Carve out hobby time. This is number 5, y'all. Gardening, reading, listening to music, sports, art, whatever it is, make time for it. I don't even care if it's watching TV. I mean, whatever it is that you just enjoy doing that's not just this or work, do that. Research shows that doing something that you love reduces stress by 50%. Who couldn't use a stress reduction of 50%? I mean, there have literally, y'all, been days that I have told my mods we're not having a live today. And the only reason was, and I told them that, because I'm going to paint. Because whenever I paint, I don't think about anything but what I'm painting or who I'm painting it for. And whenever I'm done, I feel so much less stress. And I'm usually ready to go right back and get right back in here and talk about Scientology or whatever we need to talk about the next day. So do something that you like, find out what that is, and make time for it. Number 6, practice meditation or yoga. Now, guys, I know that that can, be intimidating, but it can literally be just a 5 or 10 minute break in your day. There's no ohms necessary. There's no clearing your mind that's necessary. We hear all about that, but in reality, that's not even really what the majority of people do when they meditate or do yoga. It's more of a way to concentrate more on your breathing. That's what it's more about. And we all breathe. So when I feel stressed, what I do is it's a form of meditation. It's hard to say medication, but it's a form of meditation. And it's just where I repeatedly, for just however long, I don't tell myself I'm going to do this for 5 minutes because then I'm concentrating on the clock. So I just do it until I feel like I've done it enough. So I just breathe in deep and slow through my nose and then exhale through my mouth. And I mean, how simple is that? But I do it over and over. Sometimes it's 2 or 3, 4, 5 times. Sometimes it's 25, 30, 40 times until I feel at least some sense of calm or not being as stressed. And it works. Will it work for you? Probably, but maybe not. That's why there's always other things that you can try. It certainly doesn't fix everything, but it does. It calms me down when my mind is just spiraling out of control with all these thoughts because I'm really bad about that. As for yoga, again, do what you can do. If you're basically a yogi, like my cousin who teaches yoga and, hot yoga and all this stuff, then that's great. I'm not. I do yoga. I enjoy it. I haven't done it a whole lot lately, but I am slowly, slowly trying to get back into it a little bit. There are tons of great yoga videos on YouTube that go from basically chair yoga to, I mean, high impact, whatever, the hardest of the hard moves and everything. I have been loving chair yoga just because basically I have neuropathy really bad and I can't feel my feet a lot of the time. And that's why I need the walker. I'm not like, to a point where I can't walk. It's that I trip and fall because I can't find my feet. So doing a lot of yoga is really hard for me. And I have a lot of pain in my back and everything because of all the surgeries that I've had. So the chair yoga has really, really, really been helping. It stretches you. It just gives you a chance to really just breathe, which I think is the absolute most important thing when it comes to trying to relax, is to breathe again in through the nose, out through the mouth, deep, steady, slow breaths. And so just try it. And before long, you might be like my cousin and be teaching it. I mean, you just never know. So, yeah, just breathe. I have a little sign in my office that says breathe because I sometimes forget. I will find myself holding my breath. Number 7, sleep. Did you know that 7 or 8 hours of sleep is required for your body to tolerate stress? It's not just about relaxing and, relaxing your body and all that. It has a lot to do with actually being able to tolerate stress. And I know that for adults, sometimes getting those 7 or 8 hours of sleep is difficult. If you have to go to a doctor and get a sleep aid, do it. But if you don't, remember when we were kids and our parents would read us a book, or we would read a book to ourselves, or, whatever? We would, have our bath, brush our teeth, get in our jammies, read a book, have a book read to us, whatever, sing a couple lullabies type things. I mean, even as a preteen, my mom, it was so embarrassing. She would come in there sometimes and she would like sing us a little song. She always sang I'm a Little Teapot to me. And she would change the words and make it about me being a little smart ass. I'm a little smart ass, short and stout, which I was skinny, but I guess. But anyway, she would change it and we would kind of laugh and everything, but it would relax me and I would go straight off to sleep and sleep until, you know, the next morning sometime. But Marilyn, yes, I know, play Candy Crush, I get that, but we really do need to work towards turning off those devices. So if that works for you and you go right off to sleep, then you do you, boo. But if not, if you're finding that you're having a hard time going to sleep at night, turn off the device, pick up a book, you know, whatever. But sleep is crazy important. Number 8, y'all. Bond with people. Have coffee or lunch or whatever, or herbal tea with a friend. You know, don't just plop down in your chair and have a coffee, or have a coffee at your desk or whatever. Arrange to have a coffee even if you're standing at the water cooler and you're talking to a friend. Do that. Connect with somebody. Bond with them. It's really important to just bond with people. We're not meant to be solitary. We're not meant to, just live in a little, cocoon. We're meant to be out and amongst people. That is exactly what we are meant to do. And so many of us close ourselves off to that. I am horrible about it. I am so bad about not actually, on a very personal level, bonding with people. When you've been stung, a lot of times you back off and don't do it. So I understand, but I'm going to tell you, bond with people. Have a chat with your neighbor. If you live in a neighborhood where you can talk across the fence, do it. If you are taking a walk through your neighborhood and you see your neighbor, stop and talk to them for a minute. Just if you see your neighbor, if you're driving by and you see a neighbor, because like out here in the country, our neighbors are far and few between. But if you see one sitting out on their porch or something, stop and talk to them. I mean, maybe not if you don't know them, because that's kind of, a little creepy. But if you know them, talk to them. And if you don't, find a way to get to know them. Bonds, people, they're very important. Those bonds are really, really, really important times. Did you know that even bonding with your pet, that's right, those little fur babies that just spent a little bit of time spent with pets, can also reduce your stress by 50%. So, guys, if you don't have a little fur pet, get you one. Or go visit somebody that's got one. Like if you got a neighbor that's got a pet, bond with that pet. Play with that pet. Whenever I'm really stressed, what I do, and we've got 3 dogs, 4 if you count my dad's that thinks he lives here. But we've got 3 dogs and a cat. When I am really stressed, what I do is I go find Poppy, our English bulldog, because I'm telling you, she is literally 95% love and 5% farts. That's her. That is her in a nutshell. And she will just look deeply into my eyes. And there's just something that is just so immediately relaxing, at least until that other 5% kicks in. And then I'm like, I love you, but bye. And you stay over there. I need some air. My eyes will be burning, y'all, as I'm saying that. She probably thinks I'm crying because I'm trying to get away from her. But anyway, play with those pets. If you don't have one, go to a shelter. Be one of those people that sits and reads to the dogs and cats. Be somebody that walks them or, plays with them. That's what she said. Good to see you. You'll have to go back and catch up on the replay. And I'm so sorry that you have the flu. That's awful. I know a lot of people that have been getting the flu, and I am just like praying that I don't get it. Or Mark or anybody. I don't want anybody to get it, but I just don't want it. Number 9. See, we're almost done. Take a vacation or even a staycation, y'all. It's not about getting like away, far away somewhere and staying in a fancy hotel or any of that. It's just a way that you can reset your stress. Our recent vacation to Savannah really, really, really reset mine. Thank God, because, after I got back, it seemed like all hell broke loose and my stress levels. I don't know that I could have handled them had I not had that reset. I would probably be sitting in my room just like, not today, y'all. I don't know that I would have been physically or mentally equipped to have done what we're doing if I hadn't had that reset. It came in a perfect time. So, if you can't afford a trip or you don't have the time off or whatever, you just don't want to. Some people don't enjoy travel. I'm not saying go do something you don't enjoy. I mean, I totally, absolutely get it. But do a day trip. Literally, it can be to just a town, just a city or two over from you. A town, doesn't even have to be a city. It could be a small town. If you live in the city, get out of the city. If you live in the country, get out of the country. Do something completely different. Go to another town, have lunch, walk around in a park, maybe visit some kind of local museum or an art gallery. A lot of little towns have little museums that show about their history and how they came to be. I know that the town that we live the nearest to, Drumright, they have one, and it's all about the oil boom and the railroad and all these things. And it's really interesting. And sometimes that's all it takes is just absolutely a change of scenery for just a little bit. Go to a restaurant you don't normally go to in your own town if there's more than one. You know, pack a picnic. And I know it's cold in a lot of places right now, but it's not always. Pack a picnic and go to a park. You're not going to look like a creeper unless you really act like a creeper. So just, do something different. That's what a staycation does. And we do a lot of those. Just do something out of the ordinary, something that gets you out of your space, and it really will help with stress. Hef needs a change. I understand, sweetheart. You needed a change, yeah. What did you say? Oh, you did your hair. I'm gonna have to see this. I bleached my hair, then put silver in it. Oh my God, I haven't seen these pictures yet. I will go look as soon as this live is over. Number 10, y'all. If all of these other things don't help, or in addition to all of these other things, okay? Go see a therapist. Seriously. Y'all, there's absolutely zero shame in taking care of your mental health. In fact, it shows strength and courage. I mean, if old L. Ron Hubbard had really taken care of his mental illnesses, can you imagine the world without Scientology? Without the harm that that one man caused so many people? If he had just taken care of his mental health, if he had just believed the many people, the many professionals that said that he was mentally ill and gotten help. It just, imagine. I'm not saying that any of us are the next LRH, y'all. So, trolls, chill. I'm just saying therapy isn't the devil. They don't hypnotize us and essay us. That's L. Ron Hubbard speak. It can be so helpful, but here's the thing. Oh, my lighting got crazy there for a minute. I got Casper the Ghost. Here's the thing. If we go to a therapist, we have to be honest. We have to tell the therapist, first of all, we've got to be honest with ourselves while we're there. Second, we got to be honest with therapists while we're there and tell them what's really going on. Because if you lie to yourself and then your therapist, you're wasting your time, their time, everybody's time. Ain't nobody got time for that. So if you cherry pick what you tell them, or if you just flat out deceive yourself and them, you're not helping them. You're not going to get the help you need. So, you know, that's what I think about that. Let me make sure I didn't have something written on the bottom of that one. For some reason, I thought I saw something. Nope. Must have been I have floaters in my eyes, and so I see these black flashes flash by sometimes. And sometimes that's why I look off to the side. I know people notice that sometimes I'm looking around, but sometimes it's because these floaters flash in front of my eyes, and I think something or someone is beside me or above me or, whatever. And so, yeah, and sometimes I see things on my papers that aren't there, like just now. So, anyway, so, yeah, okay. There are some things that I personally do, and I'm going to share those things with you. I think there's just a couple. Hold on, I've lost it somewhere. Yeah, there we go. I'm sorry. Ah, there we go. Things that I personally do that helps my stress. I am implementing some of these 10 recommendations that they have, but I also want to share that I have, in fact, unsubbed from YouTube channels that are constantly on the attack of anybody. Whether I agree with them or not, I don't want a constant attack. Now, obviously, sometimes people need to say something. I'm talking about like on the daily. Like if there's just somebody that's just like constantly attacking. Mm. Okay. Number two, I'll get this up where I can read it. My lighting is sucking today. I am personally limiting my viewing time, which got a lot easier when I stopped watching some of the channels that I was watching before. There's always going to be drama, but we don't need steady doses of it every day. But I really am limiting my view time. I have decided that I don't have to watch every channel every day. I can pick and choose if it's a topic that I think I'm going to find interesting. There are some channels I'm going to watch every day. I don't care if it's like Chad, Clearwater Chad, when he'd put on there, we're watching paint dry and stuff. I still watch it. I'd have that on while I was doing my, getting my my live's ready or folding laundry or whatever, I'm still watching it. Sometimes that's pretty calming. I love that. But Nisa, have I ever been fair gamed? I think so. And again, that if you'll go and read my community post today, I think that you will see that. Yeah, I absolutely have. And I also have had my credit card and bank account hacked 3 times in the last 3 months. So, and I think that that is maybe not OSA, but somebody is implementing some fair game tactics. So, anyway, so that's number 2. Number 3, I watch some of the channels on replay. Now, a lot of the reasons, especially if it's something that I think might be gonna get a little spicy, I'll do that sometimes because I can then not watch the chat. And as much as I absolutely adore my chat, because I have the best chat in the world, not lying, this is always or almost exclusively a very safe, loving chat. But some chats aren't, and that doesn't mean anything with the creator a lot of times. Sometimes the chat just like, gets out of hand. And so sometimes I can do away with that by just watching on the replay. And your creators get paid by Google whether you watch a live or you watch the replay. So sometimes, watch the replay. Or if there's 2 or 3 people you want to watch, figure out which one that you want to watch, right now, and then watch the others on replay. It's not an either or. Watch the replay. You can do that at any time. The last one is I don't only consume anti Scientology or anti cult content. Y'all, I was doing nothing but anti Scientology content for a good 6 months, and I had to step away. Not that I stopped caring as much, I think it made me care more because I wasn't stressed out over it. I wasn't consumed with it. I I started really watching, I mean, y'all know, I watched that Bondi Beach rescue. I mean, that's strictly for eye candy, but hey, I might be old, but I ain't dead. I'm married, but I'm not dead or blind. I also watched Silly. Hey, DOA is a fraud. Good to see you. Yeah, I'll catch on the replay. Um, I also watched Dr. Pimple Popper. I know that can be so gross, but for some reason, it is so relaxing. I think it's the way she talks. And I used to do that kind of thing whenever I was a hairstylist, nail tech, and esthetician all at the same time. And so this is something not on that level. I didn't do like huge lipomas and stuff, but the pimples and blackheads and on all those kind of things. Yeah, I did that. And so you know, thank you, DOA is a fraud. That's very kind of you. I appreciate it. My lipstick's a little bright today, but oh well, right? It didn't look so bright in my mirror, but when I got on this light, it was like, "Oh boy, I need to start putting my lipstick on when I get under the light, so I don't come in looking like a clown." But, anyway, yeah, just y'all, we do what we gotta do, right? I watch movies, I read a book. I don't just stay on YouTube anymore, and it's not healthy to just live on YouTube. As much as I would love for you to live right on my channel and get me those watch hours so that YouTube has to cut me a good check. Aw, thank you. Yeah, Jigsaw Puzzle's another good one. Is it Glorfindale West? Good to see you. I don't recognize that name, but I hope you come back and visit some more. Yeah, absolutely. Jigsaw puzzles are amazing. I've got a new one. It's a 1,000-piece one that my mother-in-law gave me, and I need to like really, really just make myself work it. I've got one of those things that you can put it on and then like a board and has like a cover that covers over it and you can slide it under your couch. So I need to do that. I can just put it on my ottoman and sit there and work it for a while and then hide it under the couch so that my cat doesn't play hide and go seek with the pieces or she likes to do this, like, you know, just swat stuff out of my way. Sometimes stuff that's not in my way. Most of the time, stuff that's not in my way. So, I hope something that I've said here helps somebody, maybe gives you an idea of something that you could try that maybe you hadn't thought of, or just to know that stress is normal and that we can deal with it and we can deal with it together. We can depend on each other and kind of, lift each other up. Your cat does the same thing. Oh, they're ornery little monsters, aren't they? Oh my goodness. So that's what I wanted to say today. Anyway, um, oh, I was also going to say sometimes, like in the past week, avoiding stress is just not possible. So we have to reach into our stash of tools to de-stress. And so that's what I'm hoping that some of these brought to you today. Something that you can stash back in your in a little arsenal of tools to help you to de-stress. Because and if you have good ideas, put them in the comments on the replay or email me or whatever, because I'm always looking for different ways to de-stress or to give my friends hints about ways to de-stress. Because I mean, it's a stressful world we live in, y'all. So what was that? I just saw something, unless it was another deal. So, oh yeah. So, sometimes we do, guys, have to go through the rain to get to the flowers. But what my wish is that all of us would have a beautiful field of flowers and can just work past. I don't keep tools in my stash. Yeah, I got a couple different kinds of stash. One of them's got some little, that helps me a lot too. So, anyway, flowers and enchiladas. That's how I de-stress. Looking at the flowers and the enchiladas. Smell the flowers and eat the enchiladas, y'all. That's all I can wish for you. So, or whatever is your, go-to food. We all know it's enchiladas with me, cheese ones in particular. I really do feel so blessed to have all of you here. I just really do. And I'm going to take a moment before I get in too much trouble and check a little bit with my chat. I've been kind of keeping up with you a little bit as we go, but it's kind of hard when you're talking and I'm trying to look over here and then I get lost in what I'm doing. But usually I'm trying to look anywhere but straight ahead, because straight ahead is my face. And I don't like to look at my face because I'm sitting here and when I'm looking at my face, I'm seeing like weird places. There's a big empty spot in my hair right here. My lipstick is worn off on the side. So that's all I see. And so that's going through my mind. And so I like to look over at the chat, and sometimes I'll just look off to a corner or something somewhere. So that's what I'm doing. Or I'm seeing floaters floating by. So I'm going to check back in with my chat, try to figure out where I was at, or at least close. Okay, here we go. Oh, goodness. Some of it I'm not going to read if it's just y'all talking to each other, but I do try to, if it's a comment or something that I know is either intended for me or that, someone might for sure want to hear later, I try to hit those. So yeah, Doug says to all that's coming in, welcome to the crew. I don't know where my thing just went. It just Jersey Jen says, hey peeps. Yeah. Fancy meeting you here. I love it when y'all talk to each other. I know that, that might not seem true, but it is. Doug says, I always read old news, usually 2 days late, Susie. I know. When I owned our newspaper, people would say, well, that's old news. And I'd be like, I'm a weekly newspaper, y'all. Whenever I wrote it, it was new. But yeah. Oh, gosh. Beverly's internet is wonky. I think so many of us have that problem. Comment, have you have you asked a pharmacist about Blexten? It's like Benadryl, but no drowsy side effects. No, but I will, because it drives me nuts. I mean, like my allergies, it just, and I used to have, well, when we lived in California, I didn't have allergies at all. I moved here and I used to have spring allergies when all the grass and stuff would grow. But then I started getting also fall when things would kind of be dry and dusty. But now it just seems like I just have allergies like all the time. Like if I don't have allergies in a day, I'm just like, wow. And my nose doesn't run. It just feels like it's going to. And so I'm constantly like, "Oh God, I hope I don't have anything hanging out of my nose," or it just itches. The majority of the time, it just itches. So, yeah, the makeup's usually rubbed off of my nose. I'm a I'm a wreck, y'all, totally. Yes. How about going for Lisa McPherson's memorial? Maybe. I will definitely be going to her memorial, that brick and everything. While I'm there, it is definitely a must do. But I need to check into her memorial and see, because wouldn't that be something? I am just absolutely obsessed with Lisa McPherson. I can't get past what that poor woman went through. Oh, I will look into it. Yeah, I do have to check with Mischief. She's liable to. Mischief the Enforcer. Yeah. Oh, wow. Marilee says, my brother's upstairs neighbor had a life ending stress induced stroke. Actually brought it in himself. Yeah. Isn't that just awful? I mean, it's so scary. And I tell you what, when you're having a panic attack, it feels like an absolute heart attack or something. It feels like you are dying. I think Marilyn may have said something about having a panic attack on her live today, because I was like, boy, you and me both. Because I mean, it's been a week. I am really hoping that this week is better. Doug says stress caused me a headache. Yeah, I think that's what caused my migraines. I had them for 3 days in a row. I'm hoping I don't wake up with one tomorrow. Hopefully today's the end. Yeah, hit that like button and go ahead and hit subscribe. Whether you like me or hate me, you're going to want to come back and give yourself a reason, right? Yeah, there's a theory that many people get the same ideas at the same time. There's like some weird link. Yeah, I believe that. Right, Mischief. The same topic doesn't mean the same info will be presented. That's stupid. Absolutely true. Sometimes it is, but it's not always. I think that Marilyn's live and my live touched on some of the same things and also talked about completely different things. Sometimes you got to talk about something to get, or a lot to get through some people's thick heads. True, poet. Absolutely true. Thank you for that. Uh, Poet says my whole life is one stressor. I know. Hef says she's been smoking a lot. I'm assuming weed. This past week, it calms me down than any pill. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I absolutely agree. I don't have an age hang up either. I really I have enjoyed every age that I've been. I really have. And I really expect it. The only thing about growing old is just the reality that you have more years behind you than you do in front of you. But that could be with anybody. A 3-year-old can have more time behind them than they do in front of them, and that's life. Yeah, Jersey Jan's looking at 60 in a few months. How the heck did that happen? Yeah. Yeah, you blinked, Marilee says. That's what happened. Hef's gonna be 47. Yeah, it will be the best year of your life. So much stress will be gone. You're gonna have your honey. Yeah, Cricket Cinema 61 doesn't stress about turning 62. He'd be more concerned if he about not turning 62. Absolutely. So, let's see here. Geminis unite. Yes, I'm a Gemini. It's always good to see Eric Rader. Really says, been there, done that, but didn't buy a t-shirt. Oh, guys. I'm flipping through here probably pretty fast. I know I'm probably missing somebody. Missing a lot of somebody's probably, but I don't mean to, and I'm really sorry. I'm just getting tired in my eyes after a while. Oh, you posted on your community page too, Hef? Oh, I'll have to go read it. Hef listens to music and dances. Yes, Joel, watching kids play, isn't that something? You know, something else that I just love is watching a baby eat. I especially like it when they get old enough that they start like grabbing things with their little hands and stick it in their mouths. I just, I don't know. I just think that is the sweetest, absolute, most just precious thing. Yeah, walk in a park and hang out. Yeah, I don't get on the floor because my knees, I can't get up. That's what happened when I fell at the airport was I fell and then I couldn't get on my knees to get up. F just melted a Hershey bar into her toffee coffee. No calories there. Oh, sounds good though. Julia says my vices are soda. Yeah. I really was drinking way too much soda and I have really, really cut back. Oh, you missed your 3 a.m. calls with your mom. Well, I didn't call her at 3 a.m., but I missed my 3 p.m. calls with my mom. Doug, I am not even going there. And I have got to go see Hef's hair. Joel, I told my wife that I wanted to color my hair. She said that I need hair to do it. There is always a hitch in my plans. Oh, goodness. Elaine says, I am 5 months clean and live so far out in the country. So the lifeboat was my recovery community. I'm sorry I'm talking about this, but I'm very affected by the revelations. I appreciate it. Aw, I'm proud of you. And I'm not a recovery channel. I've never been addicted, but you can come here anytime and we will back you up and pat you on the back and lift you up any way we can and be so proud of you and talk you through the rough times, you can email me. It's on my channel, on my about page. Like I said, I I don't know what you're going through or have been through, but you're going to find a lot of shoulders to lean on in this channel, in this chat. I promise you that. These are some of the sweetest people you'll ever hope to meet in your life. Oh, wow. Marilee's son-in-law is a week from 2 years sober. Absolutely. Be proud of him. I'm proud of him too. That is so amazing. I've got a lot of friends who are addicts, and I I can't imagine really much of anything harder to have to go through than that. And if any of us can be here for you, any of you, I know that that's what we would want to do. Yeah, I saw that. I like old movies too. No, you're not weird. Well, you might be weird, but not because you like old movies. Aw. Okay, guys, I think I'm gonna call it a day. Um, Barbie MO4, good to see you. If I missed any of you, I am so sorry. My eyes are getting blurry. I didn't sleep well last night, and anyway, I'm uh I'm gonna go rest and have a bowl of broccoli cheddar soup and just rest. And I will probably be back tomorrow and see you guys then, if not for sure the next day. But I'm planning on tomorrow. I'm trying to really, really try to stick to an almost everyday schedule. So anyway, yeah, yum. So you don't have to chat much, Barbie. That's absolutely fine. But we sure like it when people do pop in and chat here and there. And as time goes by, you'll probably do it more because you'll be more and more comfortable. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Love you guys. I really do. Even though some of the haters say we can't, I really do. I'll talk to you later. Bye.